Good evening, and welcome to Channel 8's 5 o'clock news, and I am Jacob Marsh. Tonight we will be discussing biological and chemical warfare. These are methods in which toxic or incapacitating chemicals or biological agents are used to further the goals of the combatants in a war. These gases were first used in World War I in the forms of tear gas, chlorine gas, and mustard gas. The introduction of Agent Orange occurred in Vietnam and was originally intended to clear the vegetation and forests, but was later proven to have an effect on humans as well. Later in the timeline, gases such as anthrax, sarin, and VX were introduced and used in the Gulf War. One of the most recent developments in this field was that of ricin, a chemical weapon 6,000 times more powerful than cyanide. One drop on your skin could kill you within 2 seconds. In fact, ricin was used in the recent assassination of a defector on the streets of London. The assassins coated a small pellet, approximately this large, and fired it at the defector through an umbrella gun, thus killing him. Details on this are limited as of the filming. Okay, now we're going to have a short commercial break, and we'll be back in just one moment.
Matthew Brady is about to become part of a remarkable experiment. He will be kept and monitored in this room, cut off from all human contact for the next 30 days.
Sometimes you wear out lead and time, but not today.
You do all these wrong stuff? Guys, I haven't signed up for this. This doesn't mean I'm casting.
Got atropine?
Okay, now that we're back, we're going to go to me, reporting not so live from Moscow in my Pulitzer Prize-winning performance under the false name of Matthew Brady. Take a look. Thank you, Jake. Hi, this is Matthew Brady reporting live from the beautiful city of Moscow, Russia. I'm going to report on the lethal nerve gas, anthrax. Anthrax is actually a disease which normally afflicts animals, especially cattle and sheep. However, anthrax spores can be produced in a dry form that can be incorporated into weapons. When these spores are inhaled by humans, they can cause severe pneumonia and death within a week. Now, we have a volunteer here to demonstrate the effects of anthrax. He went out in Musoclo number 1. When do I get my stickers? All in good time, my friend. And so now, I will move to the safe distance of 15 feet. You stay here. Okay, that's about 15 feet, if not a little bit more. Okay. Proceed! Okay, right now Stephen will be exposed to the gas, anthrax. So, anthrax is a very deadly nerve gas, as you can see by what's happening to Stephen right now. It causes a 99% fatality to unprotected individuals. Okay, looks like it's still going well. Many military facilities are working on a vaccine for this deadly gas. Within the next several years, it will be given to all active duty military personnel. Actually, this vaccine has been around since 1970, but it was still in the test phase until just recently. Let me go into greater detail regarding the process in which anthrax kills you. Inhalation anthrax, the kind of anthrax that you inhale, is a multiphasic illness, meaning that it goes through multiple phases. The first phase is characterized by nonspecific flu-like symptoms, mild fever, malaise, fatigue, a dry cough, and occasionally chest pressure. This stage may last for up to 2 days or as little as 18 hours. This is also the only time that anthrax is treatable. The treatment consists generally of penicillin G, though most often it has little effect. Moving on to the second phase, the symptoms shown are shortness of breath and cyanosis. Let me go to the next page. Cyanosis is caused by lack of oxidation to the skin, which causes your skin to turn blue. This second stage lasts for a few days and then leads to the third phase. The third phase can be recognized by death. Thank you, and have a pleasant evening. Thank you. Thank you. Just so you know, I will be signing autographs for my Emmy-winning CD, Singing in Moscow, named after my Pulitzer Prize-winning performance in Moscow, this Saturday, here at the studio. Now we go live to Mike Phillips. So Mike, we here in the newsroom and viewers at home all want to know, what exactly is sarin nerve gas?
Well, Jake, sarin is a nerve agent used in chemical warfare. Nerve agents are considered the most toxic of the known chemical agents. It is a colorless, odorless, and extremely volatile liquid. Sarin is housed in munition containers as a liquid, and, following detonation of the container, it is dispersed as both a liquid and a vapor. Actually, it becomes a collection of very small liquid droplets suspended in the atmosphere, like an aerosolized solid rather than a true gas. Certain factors such as temperature, wind velocity, and the surface the agent comes in contact with will affect how readily the sarin will evaporate and affect its target. Sarin and other nerve agents can be dispersed from bombs, missiles, spray tanks, rockets, landmines, and various other large munitions.
And what are some of the effects of sarin?
Well, a nerve cell sends an electrical impulse down its length until it reaches the end, where there's a gap called a synapse, between the nerve itself and the next nerve or target organ. The nerve will then release a neurotransmitter called acetylaldehyde into the synapse, where it will then flow to the next nerve or
Thanks, but frankly, the viewers don't care. What they really want to know are the bloody details.
Okay, a small amount of the skin may initially produce sweating, blanching.
Blanching?
Oh, blanching. The skin swells and ultimately boils off. Anyway, it then causes some muscles to start twitching, and eventually may cause gastrointestinal signs. These signs may begin soon after exposure, or as long as 18 hours post-exposure. A large amount of liquid on the skin can cause effects between 1 to 30 minutes, and if severe enough, will cause the same symptoms as exposure to vapor would cause loss of consciousness, seizures, and apnea.
Well, that's all good and well, but I'm sure that the few people that are still paying attention to your bland description want to know what vaccines have been developed to prevent the horrible effects of sarin.
Well, they have developed a vaccine, paradistigmine, is a compound that the military began using in the late 1990s during the Gulf conflict. It is used as a pre-treatment for protection against a possible nerve agent exposure. Paradistigmine actually binds to the acetylcholinesterase site, making it unavailable to the nerve agent. It is not a treatment and should not be taken after exposure to a nerve agent. And now, we will go to our Nielsen Cologne 2 to show you some of the effects of sarin gas.
Hello? The heck is this, some kind of tube? Oh, no. Thank you, Mike. We'll be back in just a minute, so don't change that dial. going into the field with Danny Hashimoto in Iraq. Take it away, Danny.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Well, here I am reporting live from Baghdad, Iraq, where only the top military and press clearance allowed to... Anyhow, I'm here to report on VX poison gas, also known as O-ethyl-2NN, disopropyl-ethyl-methyl photo... or in layman's terms, CH3, CH2O, POCH, 3SC, H2, CH2N, C3H, N74. I'm sorry, that should read N72. Okay. VX is classified as an organic phosphorus substance, which is closely related to sarin, tomin, and somin. As a chemical weapon, VX has a devastating effect on human victims. The typical order in which symptoms appear are increasingly damaging. The first sign is a runny nose, followed by the tightening of the chest. Vision becomes dim, and the pupils of the eyes decrease to pinpoint size. At this time, the victim has difficulty breathing, and the victim may drool and begin to profusely sweat. Nausea arrives, followed by vomiting and muscular cramps. As muscles become more and more affected, they begin to twitch and spasm more, breaking bones and possibly fracturing the spine. A headache is accompanied by confusion and then drowsiness. Finally, the victim goes comatose. As the effect increases, so does the muscle failure, and convulsions follow. Finally, the respiratory system fails and the entire experience culminates to death. Now we will go to a short summary by Nicolas Cage from The Rock.
Again? Listen, I'm just a biochemist. And most of the time I work in a glass jar and lead a very uneventful life. I drive a Volvo, beige one. But what I'm dealing with here is one of the most deadly substances the Earth has ever known. So what do you say you cut me some friggin' slack? Really elegant string of pearls configuration. Unfortunately, incredibly unstable.
What exactly does this stuff do?
If the rocket renders it aerosol, it can take out the entire city of people.
Really? And what happens if you drop one?
Happily, it'll just wipe out you and me.
How?
It's a cholinesterase inhibitor. Stops the brain from sending nerve messages down the spinal cord within 30 seconds. Any epidermal exposure or inhalation, and you'll know. Twinge at the small of your back as the poison seizes your nervous system. Do not move that! Your muscles freeze, you can't breathe. You spasm so hard you break your own back and spit your guts out. But that's after your skin melts off.
Oh my God.
Well, I think we'd like God on our side at the moment, don't you?
As you can see, it's pretty horrible stuff. Although the ultimate result of a VX gas attack is death, there are methods to prevent and counteract it. It is interesting to note that the chemical attack is extremely effective, yet it is the only form of aggression that has a complete counteract. A chemical known as tridostigmine bromine can enhance the effects of the antidote, and it is dispensed in tablet form. The most common, oftentimes quickest way to counteract a VX is with atropine, usually administered by a syringe-like auto-injector through the thigh or arm, or with a special syringe directly into the heart for faster action. Atropine is usually administered at the rate of 2 milligrams every 3 to 8 minutes. This chemical agent in itself is actually a poison, but its effect, my God, exactly counteract those of VX poison gas. Well, this is Danny Hashimoto signing off from Baghdad. Back to you, Jake.
Thank you for sticking with the program. We'll see you in just a half an hour with our 6 o'clock news. Good night, and God bless.
Fortune's fame, mirror vein, gone insane, but the memory.
Okay, well, right here where you use the term trees. Yeah, I thought that was, well, you know, we're supposed to be talking about biological warfare, and I have a tree.
Okay, so what's my motivation for this part? Well, you see, you are a disturbed clone who has very many psychological problems due to an identity crisis.
Bully? It's a good thing. As long as you can stay, best buds and everything like us. True. Even though, it is kind of a funny deal to have someone who looks exactly like you.
The beard. Let me do it.
Because I'm cold. Who can operate a lighter?
I can't.
No, I got it.
That's what
Everybody back off!
Da 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 da